What's up, demons and demonettes? Tis I, a Charaxi, a demon queen. And we did it, and I want to highlight some stuff we can still work on. But before we get into it, as always, toss a like and subscribe down below. So what do I mean when I say, we did it? I think we got Arena fixed. So good news there. So earlier or sometime this week, I should say, on the 29th, we got a hot fix. And one of the things in the hot fix here is fix a rare issue in boss fight modes, such as a Dream Realm, where Arena's enhanced force could cause the unit teleported by dynamic balance to be pushed away at the wrong time when overlapping with other unit. Right, so I'm hoping that that fix fixes what was wrong with the comps, especially when it came to, say, like a creeper, right, where we had the whole video on it, everything was not working, so, you know, we pointed out how bad it is. I just want to point out how bad something else is, and that's RNG in this game, and how awful it can be. Alright, so we have stage 264, which is a very bad stage, difficulty-wise. Now, we do have several clear records, and I did have a comp that supposedly worked for the synergy, but it hasn't worked yet. I've already put many tries in, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to just kind of sit here, and for the whole video, we're just gonna run it just to demonstrate how bad the RNG is, right? So I already have many tries. So what we're gonna do is I tried this one, it didn't work, as you can see. So I'm gonna try this one, right? So I do have 20 on the artifact. I have about 7 levels. Rezo-wise on this, and all of my heroes are better, right? So my Freyasto is a Crown Freyasto. My Smokey is P4 plus 20. My Hugin is a P3 plus 20. My Rowan is P3 plus 15. And my Siren is a Crown Siren, right? So as you can see, overall, we have more levels, we have more power. Now, this will be a quote-unquote attempt 1 for the video, but we're probably closer to somewhere in the triple digits on actual tries on this stage. So we're gonna try it, we're going to see how it goes. Actually, you know what, let's go. Before we try it, let's see what happens on the good run where they clear it, so we can kind of compare. So we'll just have this to keep in mind. So Rowan dies. As you see, we lose a Freyasto and a Rowan. Alright, so let's go and we'll see. Now, in theory, we should be able to clear this fairly easily. But, you know. Alright, so this is attempt 1. We'll just throw on our battle here. I believe we should be set up to auto battle. I hate we have to check that every time. I don't want to lose my synergy because we may try to synergize someone just to try to get some extra help in there. Alright, so this is a wipe. We lost our Siren, so we need to retry it because we need that Siren execute to get through the stage. So this is attempt number 2. Alright. So we lost Rowan. That's fine. We know we can lose Rowan. Alright, but we lost Siren and Hogan, so that's no good. Alright, so this is attempt number 3. And this is just for this video. Keep in mind, I've already had several attempts in beforehand. So this is a wipe. So we're on attempt number 4. Go, team, go. So we finally get it. So the bitching meta worked. So I guess I just hit it at the right time, finally. But yeah, it can be really bad. So we hit that good RNG, and we got it after the fourth try for the video. But you know, again, been stuck on that stage since the previous reset, so it's been a really bad. So yeah, that's one of the things like I'd like to see fixed is like obviously you have more power, you see clear records here, you should be able to easily, I think, clear these. Some of these stages are awful in general, right? So I have this one here. Now I don't exactly have all of the talent essence here that I need because I have it split out between several factions because again, I need to consider PvE and PvP applications as well when it comes to talent tiles, so we have a little bit of a rougher time. But yeah, in general, I would like to get stages effects, like the crits, just yank the crits, right? That was the problem with the other one, as the crits. Typically, if your hero gets crit, they get one shot, it's over. I know they reduced the crit damage multiplier, they took it off of the enemies, but it wasn't enough. They just need to get rid of crits, period, on enemies. And PvE, it's ridiculous, right? There's too many of Damians in stages. There's Shakir is too many of Shakirs. Seth being on the stage is very difficult to deal with as well. Those are just some problems. Cryonaya is bad. I think just in general, they made stages a little bit too difficult, especially for newer accounts and free-to-play players, just because it feels like every time they get a new hero, they have to stick them in stages, and some of them are very awful to deal with, especially at a high deficit. Not to mention that there are heroes like Valen, Shakir, and now Cryonaya that we essentially have to control the entire time, and you need to have exact timing and pixel perfect. It's a little bit ridiculous for stages, I think, to have to be able to do that on the manual side. It's what chased a lot of the whales away in the first place back in Song, and it's one of the things they still have yet to fix or address, is just the difficulty in stages and just who are they made for, right? Like, if you don't have the time and the account to put into stages, you're not going to be able to progress very far. Sure, they have the caps, and yeah, it kind of helps, but if you're free to play or new, you are going to struggle to reach those caps, especially if like you started playing like in the middle of a season, right? Because you don't have the heroes that you need. You're missing out on a year's worth of rewards at this time. They need to really like give new players something extra, or they just need to kind of like decrease the difficulty. You already have an artificial barrier that you set up with this daily limit cap for us. We don't need to necessarily have even more difficult stages. All right. One of the other issues I want to point out is they try to like change up how the meta works for leveling, right? So now they took out the essence that we would need every 10 levels to level a hero, and now it's just a straight XP. That's fine. That makes sense, right? They have an outdated system thanks to the daily cap on stages. Everybody had excess dust for the most part, if you were pushing at a high level, you did not have a dust problem. You had an XP problem, right? So now they just kind of lumped them together, which now makes the game extra grindy because we have XP in towers, right? So we now have to make sure that we grind our towers, because when we click information here, you see you get XP on every floor, right? So if you grind like 5 floors, that's one reso level, right? That type of deal. At least that's the point where I'm at. So it's like 4 or 5 floors to 1 reso level. So yeah, that's just a little, it just makes the game extra grindy. Plus we need to grind it for our artifact, and I'm concerned that with all these other artifacts coming, depending on the timing of the phases, we may not actually be able to max out all of our artifacts. Even maxing out 3 may have been a bad move early on, in case one of these other artifacts are that game-breaking artifact that we need for like PvE content during the season, right? Our Frostfall, our Surging, our Cascade, Overcharge, those types of spells that we kind of use everywhere. Harmonic, Evocation, right? So we've had these artifacts we know that are more desirable, and then ones you just never really use at all. Even for like PvP, they're like just not used, right? So there's a lot of bad artifacts. There's so many artifacts, so that could be a problem. I'm worried about the math. The same thing for the talent essence. You know, seeing as we're on almost infinite stages and we're supposed to be able to get to 2, the question is, right, we're gonna have to get another material. If we cap off at 900, that means the only way we're getting that material is through reso level, right? Because as you can see, we're at 850. We're still only getting the blue essence. So that means at 900, you know, we're probably not getting them unless we get it in infinite stages. I don't know. So we'll kind of have to wait and see there. But I'm a little concerned with the way everything works out. So it's like, we may open those second tier talents, but we may not be able to actually utilize them. Anyway, those are some of my concerns, some issues, some things I'd like to see fixed. So after getting the, hopefully, a Plague Creeper issue fixed, maybe we can get stages fixed and get the game back to being a little bit more fun to play. Just after playing other gachas like a Rememento, White Shadow, which isn't getting enough attention. Ethereal restart starting in a week. It just amplifies a lot of the other issues, kind of like with the auto battle thing, the number of attempts in a Dream Realm, that sort of thing, right? Because like in Ethereal Restart, you have unlimited boss attempts on the Union boss, which is like the guild boss. They don't really have like a Dream Realm type situation there. You just have a boss you farm for gear, or a couple bosses you farm for different types of gear, I should say. But you have the stamina system, you use that there. But when it comes to actually like boss, you have unlimited attempts. It just takes your best attempt for the day, and that's your score. I'd like to see something like that for Dream Realm. Maybe not so much unlimited attempts. If they want to limit it, you know, for like bot activity, maybe it's limited to 10 an hour, that type of thing, right? So you get like 10, and then it refreshes the next hour. You get another 10, right? But it just kind of caps at 10. Maybe with the 10 paid tries overall, if like you wait to the end of the day, so that way you could get 20 in at the end of the day. Maybe they want to up it to like 20 or 30 per hour. That would be fine too. All for more attempts in Dream Realm. That would really help, again, because the RNG in Dream Realm is awful, and it was, especially since, like I said, with like Plague Creeper, if you had the invested account, you were subject to these high RNG comps where you needed multiple runs, and just if you did other runs, you're kind of limited in what you can do that day. So you're kind of like bad off. Like, I got lucky. I did get a good score on one of the high RNG comps, but I knew plenty of other whales, like a Turtle Lags, who ended up 59, who was like way down, right? And he's got all of the key heroes built up that you would need for like a PvE situation, so you wouldn't expect them to be down at like a 59. There is plenty of lesser accounts you could see with that M+ arena getting higher. So just having more attempts could have fixed that problem as well. But it's kind of like a dev problem. They created the situation for that. So maybe if they just give us more dream roll attempts, that would be fine. Who knows, right? And then the other thing is like the slice of life thing, quality of life. What I'd like to see here is we have a lot of stages where we need to manual from the start, right? So here we need to manual save from the start. The reason why we need to manual from the start on this stage, in case, is because these dog riders are pretty fast. So they're gonna run past Aaron's ult, because the AI logic's a little wonky, so it's gonna target like back here first, and they're gonna be out here and get out of the range on this stage. So what I would like to see is, like in Ethereal Restart, you have the option on this screen here to toggle auto on or off, right? So we should just be able to toggle it here. We could toggle battle speed here. The toggles just need to be on this screen. That would be very helpful. It's a big quality of life thing, especially when you have to push a lot of stages and they don't really have a lot of content for the game. Like, their solution for us that said, like, hey, you lack content, right, is we get a smaller map, so we get less content. It's more heavily time gated, and when you open up those maps, like the last zone we opened up, we were done in 30 minutes. So it was like 2 days for 30 minutes worth of content. I don't see how that solves their content issue. So again, we're kind of left, the only thing we're kind of left to do with today, since we are in a time gate, is a push the stages. So when you have to do something over and over and over, those quality of life issues really just like pop up, and we'd like to see those fixed. Well, those are the things I'd like to see get fixed. Hopefully we can get those fixed as well. And if we keep having success with these videos and getting the good word out there, I'll keep making them about the problems with the game that we can hopefully get fixed, or just to make an overall better experience. Because again, like I said, I'm playing Memento, White Shadow. We have Ethereal Restart coming out at the beginning of next month. There's a couple others coming out next month that I probably won't play. And then Uma Musimo Pretty Derby at the end of the month. And that's just June. This year is going to be stacked for gachas, especially more of those open world types. So I don't know if we're going to get any more like turn-based ones, because I know some big ones on the radar are like Anata, Neverness to Everness, Arknights 2, which is going to be like their 3D open world type version, I think. And that's probably going to do pretty well. Silver Palace is like the Victorian Genshin that everybody's looking forward to. So there's a lot of big or highly anticipated gachas coming out this year. So if we could get a better experience overall in game, it would help the health of the game and retain the players, because it really doesn't feel like we're getting any new players or fresh blood at this point, because they're going to be all gravitating towards the new games. Because this is the problem, like I pointed out earlier, is that a lot of the content's difficult because you're so far behind. You're not going to have those built up accounts, and the stages content, which is like a huge barrier, I want to say, to entry, is just going to knock a lot of people out early. Like, they're going to go into the stages and like, what the fuck is this? This isn't what I expected. This wasn't the pre-season. Why are these things all of a sudden so much more difficult? Right? Yeah. So anyway, let's get these things fixed and get a better game going into the future and get more people playing. And that's it for this one, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!